Aquaman, issue number 3. That's right, folks. It's back. It's better than ever. And it is quickly becoming one of the must-read books in this new era of DC. Man, is this incredible. Like, I've been saying it for so long. I've said it every single issue we've talked about so far. Aquaman has desperately needed a resurgence, a reinvention, something to put him back in the stratosphere. He hasn't had that since the New 52, and that's been over a decade ago. But this is exactly what he needed. And my goodness, is this book fun and interesting. It is pretty much the lore dump of what this run's gonna be. Here's all the information of where we're headed and what we're doing. A little bit of a history lesson on Aquaman's backstory with his father. But then it just sets up what's to come. And I think it's very interesting the characters we are pulling back into this universe, where we are putting them, how they're connected to stuff. It's brilliant and it's awesome, and I'm glad it's existing. I'm glad it exists. I have so much fun with this book every time it's out. It's good. It's really good. So we open up this issue, and we are in Amnesty Bay sometime in the past. It's a young Arthur, and he's looking out of the lighthouse on like the top level, and his dad comes up like, "What are you doing up here? There's a big storm." But Arthur just needs some time to think. He's upset because some kids at school are making fun of his dad for his job because all he does is stay in a lighthouse. And his dad's like, "Oh, well, what do you think about it?" He's like, "I don't know. Wouldn't it be cool to like go out there and see the world instead of being stuck in the lighthouse?" As he says that, lightning crashes on the lighthouse, and it turns out the light that is inside. They have to go reset the fuse, but as they do that, it looks like a ship's coming in, so they have to work quickly before the ship actually loses like place of where they are. So that's the tension in the past. We'll cut back to that in a bit. I like this depiction of Thomas Curry. He looks pretty cool. A lot of beards in this book, and it looks fun. So then we cut back to the present day, or cut forward, I guess. And we see Arthur is scaling the side of like a huge ice something. He's using like his water kinesis to make ice picks to climb. He's there, Vivian, the lady of the lake from ancient times. Yep, that lady of the lake. And I guess he's King Arthur, so that's an interesting area to throw in there too, I just thought of. And they're there with Arion, an old character from DC's past who used to be like an Atlantis guy. Arthur was promised as soon as they get to the top of this, he'll get all the answers to where they are. So they climb up to the top of this big ice hill. They suddenly see like some weird magical glacial thing, the weird volcano, and like some fire burning in the middle. And he's like, "Where are we?" "Oh, we're home." We then cut to some other crazy guy who's looking at like a weird portal made of water. This is Dagon, and he is the ruler of the blue. We'll get into all this in a minute here, but this is a crazy looking guy. It's over-designed as hell, but it looks really cool. He's in like some weird throne room surrounded by coral, and there's fish, and he's talking to some mermaids, and he's like to the mermaids, "Hey, my mercenaries, can you bring me this Aquaman? He seems like he could kill me. We have to kill him." Like, "Yep. Yes, Lord Dagon will go kill him." We then cut back to where Arthur is, and we see that Arion's building a portal so they can like stay inside this bubble to deal with a thing. And they are next to like an anvil because Vivian has to make a weapon. The idea is Vivian and Arion want Arthur to kill Dagon. In order to do that, they have to build him a weapon because it's all about like old school lore and stuff, right? We have to build Excalibur for Arthur. What does that look like? We don't see it in this issue, but we'll see it probably soon. Arthur's freaking out like, "Can you just tell me what's going on? Like, I'm tired of this. I'm cranky. I just need to know where my family is and what happened to Atlantis." So here comes some lore. If you're interested, we'll get into it. Arion explains, we go back to the beginning of time where there was order and chaos, and then chaos tried to reign like throughout the land of the universe, whatever, and order fought back, so it created structure, and it created like objects like Oa and the Green Lantern battery, and it created like elemental creatures like Swamp Thing, defenders of all that stuff. But then there was like beings that tried to like take power over order and chaos, and then they became gods, and the gods started to wreak havoc, and then like these energies distributed across the universe, and among them was the green, which we know about, and the red, which we know about, but there was one thing that connected all of them together, which is the blue. because things that are green and things that are red cannot live without the blue. Everything needs water to survive. A living thing, whether it is a plant, an animal, or a person, needs water to survive. It needs the blue. And Dagon has taken control of the blue. He's hoarded it all away for himself, literally ripping it from different realms and universes across all of time and space. So, because there's no longer like a blue flowing throughout all of these places, new creatures and new mysteries are unveiling themselves, things and mysteries that were like long forgotten. That's why we have like Jenny Greentooth, who was like in the last issue that we seen fight, and like her dried up waterland. That is what has happened. All these things are going bad. I kind of like that explanation. I mean, it works for me. I think it makes logical sense that if you have something that needs water, there should be like a big mystical water that connects it all. Sure, I buy it. I'm fine with it. That works. And the idea is they think Arthur is the only person capable because of his connection and ties to water to like take on this challenge and fight Dagon and release the blue back into its natural tide. But also there's like a connection to a great power and a great evil that connects itself to that. And Arthur's like, so the dark tide is connected to like that Omega gate I went through. I wonder if like this ancient evil thing that like maybe took over, maybe like Dagon is a part of dark side. Maybe like this thing that they want me to become that is pure evil to defeat Dagon is dark side as well. Like we haven't seen him since he died a while ago. Maybe there's something else going on here. What could that be? Hard to say. So they need to take some of Arthur's blood to build the weapon, so it will be forged to him. So he gets to stand outside the orb as they go forging it because it's going to like blow his mind if he sees what they make. And as he's standing out there while they're forging it, he sees like some water rupturing from the weird like volcano thing. And from it emerges a couple of mermaid killers. And one of them, the main one, is Lori. You're like, Lori? That's an interesting pull. You might not know this, folks. But Lori Lemaris? She was an ex-girlfriend of Superman. Superman dated a mermaid, and that was referenced recently in a couple of books, but it's also like from very classic Golden Age Superman stuff. A water-based character that is connected to the DC universe. Throw her in here. I think that works well. So she literally like walks up to Arthur's like, I came for you, and stabs him in the chest with a sword, and the sword starts to turn him into crystal, and he like freezes over it. They wrap him in a net, and then they drag him away. We then cut back to the people forging the weapon. Like, this is the best weapon we ever built. Like, I built some cool stuff, but this shit's awesome. And Arion's like, well, I'll go get him. Steps aside to see Arthur, and Arthur's already been taken. And like the mountain they were in like reveals a weird symbol. This is like some mathematical symbol, right? Like the Omega symbol's a thing. I don't know what this symbol is, but it does look familiar. So do something with that as you will. Is it like alpha? Is that the alpha symbol? Like to go against like the Omega symbol that is Darkseid? I might look that up after and put it in the notes. We'll see. But Arthur's been kidnapped. We then cut back to the past with his father. They're like, come on, son, we have to get the oil in this lamp, put it in the big thing, get everything going. We'll shine the lamp. It might not be bright enough, but it is working enough where they'll be able to see it. And that's when his dad's like, it's all right, son. See, it might not be the most glamorous job or the most adventurous, but people rely on us. I have to be here. There's people out there that need to see where we are, and that's what matters. You have to understand how important this can be. He's like, I do, sir. I really understand how important this can be. So we then wake up Arthur because he's been kidnapped and chained to a ship. He's on a pirate ship, kind of. And the mermaids are like, hey, we're taking you to the blue. You're going to go see Lord Dagon. And it's a really cool river floating in space. An insane-looking ship with weird creatures that are rowing it. An octopus creature is rowing it. I love a good octopus creature. There's an octopus banging drums there, too. Ugh. This is the dream. This is the stuff dreams are made of. What a cool, stupid issue. Like, are you kidding me? Bunch of lore dump that Arthur's like the most powerful guy in the world, and he's like capable of killing the most powerful guy in existence who's a god that's taken over like all the water in different universes. Like, come on, it's cool. And a mermaid stabs him with like an ice sword, and like the woman that made Excalibur is forging him a new trident. Like, come on. Come on. This is sick. Like, this is cool. I'm having so much fun with this book. And it looks great. I talk about the art every single time. Those colors are popping, bro. And the way the water looks, it's great. It's so much fun. If you still are not reading this book, you gotta read it. It is so interesting. It is so much fun. It is well worth your time and one of the best things DC is putting out on shelves. I think DC's in a really cool area right now. They're doing some really fun stuff. This book just escalates it and rises it. And I'm like, how are we getting this good of artwork in like this type of book? It's fantastic. So much fun. Check it out, folks. Check it out. So, Aquaman, issue number 3. I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.